Well, I just made the most awesome video. However, I forgot to press record. How's that happen? I don't know. I'm using StreamYard. I've got like a thing that I have to press on the lower left hand corner to put the picture of me, to put my recording or slideshows or whatever I'm going to do. I have to deal with that. And then on the upper right hand corner, I forgot to hit the press record. So there you go. So just wanted to throw a pitch out there for my wife. She has a few YouTube channels. If you want to learn all about couch stuffing videos, she got on that bandwagon a couple years back, and she still makes them. And that channel is called at Savvy Budget Girl, all one word, at Savvy Budget Girl. Look it up. In fact, that's the only channel she's made to date that has actually been monetized. Like we actually make a little bit of income off of that channel. Well, she makes the income. I'm not a cash stuffer. I just throw my card out there and I buy whatever I feel like buying. So there you go. But the one that's really growing, and if you look at my video, my after action report from Grow with the Video Live, the conference I went to last week in Las Vegas, well, it's actually growing pretty hard. Now, Think Media is, they're not a Christian organization. They don't advertise being Christian so much. But if you go to one of our conferences, or if you, like my wife, Wendy, had entered the Video Ranking Academy and taken all the classes and spent some money, and then she still stays on as an unpaid editor, moderator, something like that when they have all the podcasts or the virtual meetings going on, you would know that everything at Think Media starts with a prayer and ends with a prayer. And the majority of us are Christians. In fact, at the meeting last week, I got to see Dave Ramsey. I got to see Shailene Johnson. She's the one who used to do Turbo Kick and Pio. She sold both of those, and she's doing other things, more of a podcaster now than an infomercial maven. And Ruslan KD, who is one of my heroes on YouTube. And I never really put it together, but I overheard a guy telling a lady about Ruslan, and she goes, I don't know about this Ruslan guy. And he goes, ma'am, he is the Joe Rogan in the Christian space. And he really is. Watch, just go to Ruslan KD. I got to meet him a couple of times, shaking hands, bumping fists. He is, and Wendy's met him many times, and he's going, "Oh, you're Wendy's husband." I'm going, "Yep, guilty as charged." But I really dig that guy. He makes excellent content. He's based in San Diego. He was born in Tajikistan. I think Tajikistan. He's of Armenian descent, and has a whole story about growing up in the Soviet Union and coming to America and settling in San Diego and then becoming a Christian rapper. And like me, he's married to a black lady, as I am, except he's white and I'm only half white, like because I'm actually Hispanic, and I wear that with a badge of honor, even though I barely even speak any Spanish at all. But anyway, that's a whole different discussion. It's about the heritage. It's about the food. I can make the best Mexican food you're ever going to eat. Trust me on that. Abuelita taught me. Mamita taught me as well. Just, just saying. Come over to my house. I will make you some killer tamales. Uh, well, if you come around Christmas, that's that's tamale season anyway. But anyway, watch Wendy's video. I mean, or watch her shorts. Start with that. The shorts are short. There's one that's maybe 3.5 minutes long, but the rest of them are well under a minute. Just watch it and then go and watch her actual content, like the long form. They're 20 to 30 minutes of your time. I mean, you can just watch it at twice speed and get everything out of it. So if you're dealing with time constraints, because I watch a lot of YouTube content at higher speeds, like that. Usually 1.5 is about as much as I'll go, but if they're particularly slow speakers, I'll go all the way to two. So do it. Also, look at the video I put out last night. And the whole point of it is we have fallen, or we are falling as a society. We watched a movie with Kelsey Grammer and the guy who played Jesus in The Chosen. We watched that movie. My mom watched that movie, and my mom returned to Catholicism about the same time I did back in 2018. And my mom is going to church every Sunday. She's probably going to Wednesday midday rosary recitations and things like that we used to do. She's probably going to confession as well and doing all the sacraments. She got back into the faith, and my dad did as well. My dad wasn't even raised as a Catholic; he was Episcopalian, but the priest gave him a very accelerated RCIA course to make him a Catholic. And so, as far as I'm concerned, we're all Catholics in my family, and even me. I'm confirmed in everything. But like I said, I left for several years, tried to become an atheist, but this pesky thing called the Holy Spirit. I never understood what the Holy Spirit was. I thought the Holy Spirit was just the one who put the seed in Mary, and that's how she was able to beget um, the Christ, right? But it's more than that. The Holy Spirit is all around us. When you stop and smell the roses, you stop and appreciate how beautiful that scenery is. Maybe you're going on a motorcycle ride, and I'm a rider. Haven't ridden in a while, but that's because I got to fix my bike. I don't think God's just going to magically make my bike start up again, but I got to fix it. But going out, enjoying the scenery, smelling the things. I mow the lawn, and even the weeds that I hate so much, a lot of them, when I chop them, it just smells wonderful. I don't know what kind of weeds they are, but they smell wonderful. That was not an accident. That was not some random thing. This is not, I mean, I collect a bunch of antique clocks like this Gilbert here, and I've got an Ingram over there, and I got a couple of Seth Thomases, and I got another Ingram downstairs. I collect these clocks. I got a Chelsea ship's bell clock right there. I could completely disassemble the whole thing down to the components. Like nothing's attached to anything. I could stick that thing in a box for probably a billion years and it would never magically reassemble itself into a functioning clock. But yet, we've got laws of physics that pretty much work uh, all the time, although, we got people trying to do things with string theory and such, quantum quantum mechanics and quantum physics and all that. But we got basic rules and they always work. That's and the fact that we have been created and the fact that life has existed on this planet for, well, this planet, this blue marble we live on, the scientists believe it's about 4.5 billion years old. When it actually, like, all this random matter just kind of coalesced due to gravitational forces, came together, formed formed the most perfect sphere. And it's not a perfect sphere, but it's a more perfect sphere than even the best ball bearings that we could ever make, right? And then, water, organic matter. This you can't just throw a bunch of proteins and such in a vat of water, stir it around and start creating life. You just cannot do it. So it happened. It's mysterious. We're not really, I think, supposed to ever truly understand the origin of the universe or the origin of life on the planet, but here we are. We are the creator and oftentimes, unfortunately, destroyers of the world. But we were given these certain gifts. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Anyhow, watch Wendy's channel. It's awesome. You will not be disappointed, and it may bring about a certain amount of introspection into into your the way you live your daily life. Maybe we can help you out there. The way I see it, and I'm not an exemplar, like I said in the video that I posted last night, I can't go into ministry. I mean, I could go into ministry technically, but I really shouldn't because of glug, 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 glug issues, right? And, you know, but if I can still live as a disciple, as a person who wants to make sure somebody's doing okay, and I'm not doing this for my own gratitude. I mean, if I see a brother or sister who clearly needs some help, I'm gonna drop everything. I'm gonna go help them. That means if the car broke down, or if they're having a medical emergency in the supermarket, or even today, saw a guy just hanging out, and he seemed a little bit slow, but he was hanging out in front of Lens Crafters when my wife was getting her. She was in the process of ordering some transition lenses, which are great, by the way. I wear these transition lenses. I've worn them for years. I don't even notice when they start going dark. They just turn to sunglasses all of a sudden. But anyway, I walked over to the Publix. I grabbed a couple of items from the store, and I walked by, and he wasn't there anymore. I guess they had a bus go by. But then I told Wendy about it, and she said, "Yeah, he was just waiting for the bus. And when the bus came, he got on and he was out. But if he had been there after I had spent 15 minutes in the Publix, I would have said, 'Hey, brother, are you okay? Is there anything I can help you with? Can I carry your groceries when the bus comes?' That kind of thing. Just being a good neighbor, just being a nice person. And people my age, we remember watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I guess the younger set might recall a cartoon called Daniel Tiger, which was created by the widow of Mr. Rogers, because Daniel Tiger was Mr. Rogers' original first puppet that he had. So, and Mr. Rogers was not a Navy SEAL. He was not Spec War. He was not a Green Beret. Never served a day in the military. He was an ordained minister, and his ministry was, in fact, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And his wife continues to keep the ministry going by having this cartoon called Daniel Tiger, just so you know. But, you know, I got great neighbors, and I would like you to be my neighbor as well. I'm not trying to rip off Mr. Rogers, but that is a powerful thing to say. Won't you be my neighbor? Come, I'll be your neighbor. I'll be your best friend. Just accept my faults as I will yours, and we will be great. We will actually make things great again. Because all this toxic crap that's out there, it needs to go. Where we gotta enter a new era of good feelings of sorts. We need to be neighborly. We need to be friends. We need to get off these concern devices that we're I'm on my phone and I'm not doing anything of substance with people. I'm not making community with people. We need to make community together. We are social creatures. Let's do it together and let's get that Jesus Revolution 2.0 started. Bye now.